You're watching TCTV News, your only source for news and entertainment on campus.
Good evening and welcome to this edition of TCTV News. I'm Colin Vitale.
And I'm Liz Carlson. On February 11th, Craig Hick, a 46-year-old man, was arrested for shooting 3 students in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. He's being charged for 3 accounts of first-degree murder. Dia Barakat and her husband Yosser Muhammad were only married for 2 months before they were killed. The other victim's name has not yet been released. All 3 victims were honor students and made the dean's list. Police are continuing the investigation to see if this was a hate crime on Muslims. However, it has been said that Craig Hicks has had an ongoing dispute with the victims.
On Wednesday, February 11th, President Barack Obama has requested more military force in the war against ISIS. This is the first time a United States president has asked for approval for this in more than 13 years. The White House agreed to send more military force for 6 months. He supported his request by speaking out about the American citizens killed in ISIS conflicts, including James Foley, Stephen Sotloff, Abdul Rahman Peter Kassig, and the most recent, Kayla Mueller. Mueller was pronounced dead Tuesday morning. She traveled to the border of Turkey and Syria in 2012 to help refugees. She was taken captive by ISIS in 2013. President Obama spoke about the issue Wednesday evening. Lawmakers are still unsure about the justice in allowing this much power to the president. After beating a 2-month-old baby to the point of needing operations, an 11-year-old girl is convicted of murder. The 2-month-old Zuri Whitehead was staying with her mother's best friend for the night when she was beaten so badly she later died in surgery. The mother, Trina Whitehead, said that she trusted her friend to care for the child. The baby was said to have been beaten among her head, arms, legs, and neck. The name of the 11-year-old girl has not yet been released. She will be held in juvenile detention until her competency evaluation.
This past Veterans Day, Kayla White slowed down her SUV on a freeway and was rammed from behind by a Cadillac STS. Her 2003 Jeep Liberty bounced off a Nissan in front of her, rolled onto its side, and exploded in flames. When the firefighters arrived, it was too late, and 23-year-old Kayla White was 8 months pregnant, and she died of burns and smoke inhalation. White is only one out of 70 people that have died from fires involving Jeeps with plastic fuel tanks. Only 20% of the Jeeps have been repaired in the past 18 months since the recall. A New York City police officer was released after accidentally killing a man. Rookie officer Peter Leang and his partner were called to a scene in Brooklyn for violence. The 2 men were in a dark stairwell when they heard a door open. Akai Gurley made his way to the same stairwell after deciding to not take the elevator. Liang heard the door and accidentally fired his gun. The bullet ricocheted and hit Gurley in the chest. Assistant Director Attorney Mark Friedler told the court that Liang was to keep his finger off the trigger and to the side of the weapon. He ignored his training and accidentally misfired the weapon, killing Gurley.
Just as his career peaks, a slip-up and a few misinterpretations cost him a lifetime of credibility. NBC News anchor and managing editor Brian Williams was recently suspended from the air for 6 months without pay due to his inability to provide accurate accounts for his coverage of the Iraq War. Steve Burke, CEO of NBC Universal, stated that Williams' actions were inexcusable and they jeopardized the trust he built with his viewers, though Burke also believes that Williams deserves a second chance. Without comment on the future of Williams' career with NBC, Burke said, "We're rooting for him." Not since a little-known Nintendo Wii game has something like this been open to the public at large. Have you ever thought of making music simply with a movement of your hands? Now it's possible with Grammy Award-winning musician Imogen Heap's Mimu gloves. These gloves claim to put an entire musical composition right at your fingertips. Heap wanted to break away from what she calls the two-dimensional mouse and keyboard way of creating music. She stated, quote, "I wanted to be able to have something which was directly from the brain and quickly able to be manipulated by intuitive gestures."
Tuesday afternoon, sports director and anchor for San Diego's KFMB was shot. While heading to work, Kyle Kraska was shot in his silver Mercedes around 3 p.m. Someone jumped out of a white van, sprayed his vehicle with bullets, and drove off. Sources say that his injuries are non-life-threatening. Local authorities have identified a suspect by the name of Mike Montana. Police said he is wanted for attempted murder and should be considered armed and dangerous. He was last seen driving a white van with a Superior logo on it. John Junchuk was charged with murder when he threw his 5-year-old daughter over a bridge in Florida, where she fell 60 feet to her death. There have been many incidents that child services could have intervened and possibly saved the life of the young daughter. A third court doctor will most likely be asked to give his opinion in the case. The state must then decide whether Junchuk is mentally incompetent. 19-year-old Shannon Conley of Denver was sentenced to 4 years of prison after attempting to join ISIS. She claimed to have met a man online whom she planned to join in battle. After being sentenced, she told the judge that she never planned to hurt anyone. All she wanted to do was defend the Muslims. After serving her 4 years in prison, she will be required to have 3 years of supervised release and complete 100 hours of community service.
The snow may have calmed down, but it's shaping up to be a cold weekend.
Weather reporter Ronell Hunt joins us for a quick update. Ronell?
Well, let me tell you something. We are far away from April. Matter of fact, we're just in February right now, and it seems like already Mother Nature is playing an April Fool's prank on us. Right now, we're going to be looking at roughly about 30 degrees, a little bit underneath. You seen yesterday we had some freezing rain that also came our way, but now instead of it just remaining at about 30 degrees, we're going to drop down. We're actually going to drop down this weekend to in the single digits, and with our lowest, potentially when that wind chill comes, it's going to drop us down into at least -3 and a little bit more below zero. I want you guys to continue to stay tuned with us because I'll be giving you more about that later on in our weather break.
Thanks, Ronell. Now keep watching after the break for TCTV Entertainment with Taylor. We'll be right back.
Welcome to TCTV Entertainment. I'm Taylor Fink. Taylor Runzer has off for the night. Popular nightly news host Brian Williams has been suspended by NBC for 6 months. The television network made the announcement Tuesday night. The famous news anchor will be suspended from the network without pay for a total of 6 months. The punishment is being made due to a false report given by Williams involving his time spent in Iraq. The anchor had stated that he was inside the helicopter that struck by a grenade, when in reality he was actually safe on the ground. NBC's chief executive, Steve Burke, stated that Williams' actions are inexcusable and jeopardize the trust he had built with the network viewers. The popular political comedian Jon Stewart is leaving The Daily Show. This coming year, Comedy Central announced earlier Wednesday morning that the famous show host decided to step down from after the show after this year's season. Stewart had signed onto The Daily Show 17 years ago and has been a host ever since. He made his announcement on the most recent taping of the show Tuesday morning. Stewart stated, "This show doesn't deserve an even slightly restless host, and neither do you. The 52-year-old is considered a modern-day comic genius and will forever go down in television history." Just days after the Grammy Awards aired on television, an after-party was held in honor of Stevie Wonder. The official after-party was considered a tribute for the famous artist and was held on Tuesday night in Los Angeles, California. A-list stars such as Beyoncé, Lady Gaga, and Pharrell were all part of the ceremony. The artist performed multiple songs that Stevie Wonder was known for. Famous musician Paul McCartney stated that Wonder is an incredible musician and a total inspiration to all of us. This past Sunday, television aired a new show called Better Call Saul. The show is a prequel based on the hit series Breaking Bad. Both shows are located and filmed in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and have been drawing attention to the city. Originally, Breaking Bad had begun to bring in tourists, spawn tours, and sell novelty items for the city. Now the new show is starting to do the same. More than 100 fans showed up for a viewing party in the city's brewery. City officials are hoping that the new television series will help the overall economy of the area. Future gatherings are scheduled for the new episodes that are soon to come. The new SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, earned the top spot at the movie box offices this past weekend. SpongeBob took the spot from the beginning champ American Sniper, earning $56 million, while American Sniper still earned $24.2 million. Other news releases, Jupiter Ascending and Seventh Son did not do as well, earning $19 million and $7.1 million. Next weekend brings the release of the best-selling book inspired 50 Shades of Grey, which is expected to do very well. Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios announced a joint agreement to release a new Spider-Man movie. Sony first launched the Spider-Man film franchise 13 years ago, releasing 5 movies and starring 2 different Peter Parkers. Sony will maintain primary creative control over the Spider-Man character, but said they are joining Marvel to take a new creative direction with the character. Spidey may also join Marvel's The Avengers in future movies. Miley Cyrus is entertaining a short film into the New York City Pornography Festival. This controversial singer's film has no sex but features very strong sexual suggestive themes. Only continue the shocking transformation of former Hannah Montana star. Cyrus used the video throughout her recent tour and released video online in May. Melissa Rivers announced that she will be writing a memoir about her mother, Joan Rivers. Joan was a beloved fashion icon, starring in hit shows such as The Joan and Melissa Show, as well as Fashion Police. Joan passed away in September of 2014. She went in a minor procedure when she stopped breathing and was put into a medical-induced coma, which she never awoken from. Melissa is planning to write a book about her mother featuring jokes, stories, and advice. Melissa released a statement saying she is writing this book in hopes it would have made her mother laugh. The book is soon to be released May 5th of this year.
Good evening, Tomcats, and welcome to another edition of TCTV Sports. I'm Paul Connolly. Venus Williams triumphed over Maria Irigoyen of Argentina in Buenos Aires on Sunday. The win is going to help the United States advance to the playoffs in the Fed Cup in April, where she will have the opportunity to return to the World Group as one of the top 8 teams. Williams gave the United States a 3-1 lead in the best-of-5 World Group Series. Coming back from a leg injury in 2014 during the women's double draw, this is another impressive win from the tennis superstar. Sad day for professional sports as legendary sports broadcaster Ed Sable passed away on Monday at the age of 98. Before he emerged as a sports fanatic, Sable made a living by selling coats, while his love for sports was first apparent in 1962 when he purchased the film rights to the NFL championship game featuring the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. After the game, he made a movie documenting the game, which impressed his superiors. 2 years later, Ed's company Blair Motion Pictures went on to become NFL Films. Ed's impact in the sports media industry will remain alive for years to come. The Teal College men's volleyball team dropped to number 4 ranking after losing to Juniata College on Tuesday. John Turner dug out 8 Eagle attacks and also led the Tomcat attack with 8 kills, while Mike Whitelock dominated with 7 kills on 13 attacks. Zach Brombach recorded 23 assists for the team, while Colin Vitale had 11 digs. The Tomcats host Marymount University this Friday in Beagley Gymnasium at 7. The New York Giants are planning on making some changes in the offseason after reports claim that the Giants have their eyes on Brett Jones, a Canadian native out of the University of Regina. The 6'2" and 318-pound lineman became a free agent on Tuesday. In helping Calgary earn a Grey Cup victory, Jones was named the league's best offensive lineman while earning the Rookie of the Year honor in 2013. The world of college basketball will never be the same as legendary coach Dean Smith passed away on Saturday at the age of 84. Smith is best known for his time at the University of North Carolina, where the Athletic Center is honored in his name. During his time at UNC, Smith coached the Tar Heels to 2 national championships, 11 Final Four appearances, and 17 ACC regular season championships. Having coached the great Michael Jordan during his tenure at the university, Smith also broke race barriers by recruiting the school's first African-American basketball player by scholarship in Charlie Scott. Smith is remembered by basketball players, coaches, and fans across the nation and will live on as a true role model of the game. Cleveland Browns wideout Josh Gordon was suspended again by the NFL after being out last season for violating league drug policies. This time, Gordon failed the drug test by testing positive for alcohol, breaking his probation. Gordon was the Browns' leading receiver in the 2013-2014 season and is currently filing an appeal to overturn his suspension. Denver Broncos wide receiver Wes Welker might be considering retiring his career in football. Welker finished the 2014-2015 season with 49 catches for 469 yards, recording some of his lowest numbers since he was a backup for the Dolphins in 2005. Career-wise, however, Welker had 890 catches for 9,822 yards with 50 touchdowns. Alex Rodriguez met with top Yankee officers on Tuesday to apologize for his actions in the past year. Rodriguez was suspended for an entire season following his violation of the MLB's drug contract, testing positive for steroids. The former Yankee is allowed to start training and working out again after February 20th when the Yankees spring training gets kicked off in Florida. That's all we got for sports today. When we come back, we got run out with the weather. Stay tuned.
I'd like to thank you all for continuing to tune in with us. My name is Ronell Hunt. I'll be bringing you your weather for this evening. Okay, now if we look right over here, we're looking in our regionals right there. Beaver Falls, we're going to be sitting pretty nice right now, about 19 degrees or so. Pittsburgh, 21 degrees, the same with Washington and Morgantown. You're going to be sitting pretty even at about the mid 20 degrees. Now if we come over here to our other side as well, we can also see that not only is Morgantown and everyone else at 24 degrees, but the other areas around there will be in the low 20s as well. Now let's go ahead and see what's going on within our northern temps. Northern temps, Newcastle, hometown right there, you're going to be having about 15 degrees right now. Going to be dropping a little bit lower. We'll give you a little bit more of that as we focus on. But Butler, as you see, you're going to be about 3 degrees higher than that. Want you guys to stay bundled up. This is the time when the weather is going to continually drop. Want to make sure you guys are well prepared. If you have to take any stops or anything like that, please make sure you do so with care and with caution, because there will be some black ice coming within the next couple of hours. All right, now see what's right on over with our wind. Now we're looking at our wind chill right now. Remember I said that Newcastle, you're at about 15 degrees or so, but with that current wind chill, you're going to be dropping from 15. It's going to feel like it's -1 coming with that wind chill as well as all these other areas are going to be dropping a little bit negative as well. As we see Franklin right there, -3 degrees. Butler, you're going to be dropping from 24 degrees down to 6 degrees. So make sure you guys are well prepared for that weather as we're going to see what's going on just right now with our daily planner. All right, 4 p.m. right now, 16 degrees. Want you guys to be mindful of that because it's not going to stay at 16 degrees. We're actually going to move on down into 8 p.m. later on tonight. You're going to be at 12 degrees, and it's going to drop even lower than that as we continue to focus on within the map. It's going to drop lower. 11 p.m. tonight, we're going to go from 16, drop down all the way to 8 degrees. Bundle up, make sure the kids are warm. If you have to go out tonight, do any late night shopping, make sure you guys are bundled up. We're going to take a look right at our 5-day forecast as we're going to continue on within the news. We have 29 degrees right now, dropping down to the lowest of 3 degrees. Moving on into the weekend, now we want you guys to stay mindful because it's going to be an 80% chance of precipitation, more than likely snow or freezing rain. We'll be able to give you more of an update, but it will be 24 degrees with 80% chance of precipitation going into Sunday. Mid flurries as it's dropping all the way down to a frigid 8 degrees. -3 will be our lowest, and swooping right on into the beginning of next week, you're going to have about a clear, maybe partly cloudy skies of 20 degrees with a low of 12 degrees. That is all from right here at the Weather Center. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Ronell. And before we wrap up, after learning that her grandfather had developed Alzheimer's, Annie Gaynor and 6 of her classmates at St. Catherine of Alexandria in Chicago came up with an idea that might make them unforgettable. The group began pitching development for a smartphone app entitled Remember Me. The software serves as a facial recognition database that would use a phone's camera to identify somebody for an Alzheimer's patient.
A single picture would allow the user to identify the person's name, age, relationship to them, and even previous pictures taken with that individual. The app fell short of winning national prizes, but won Best in State Award and $5,000. The 12-year-old classmate said the app was not picked up by Verizon, but they hope to find a company to take the demo.
And that's all we have for today at TCTV News. Thank you for joining us. I'm Colin Vitale.
And I'm Liz Carlson. Have a good evening, Tomcats.
You've been watching TCTV News, your only source for news and entertainment on campus.